in these areas in regards to this. Because what's important for everyone to know is the Constitution of the state of Hawaii in Article 12, Section 7 protects the cultural, traditional, and customary uses and protects our rights to gather. And so with these fish farms that are in these areas, it violates almost every part of that constitutional right that's guaranteed under Article 12, Section 7. So we're stepping up, and we're saying, and in conjunction with the Food and Water Watch, we're combining their resources and their understanding from a scientific viewpoint, that we're bringing our cultural side together so that we can present, the arguments.
But of course the Hawaiians were amazing scientists because the fish ponds were really complex. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about, the fish ponds and the amazing science that went into designing them and maintaining them?
Well, our kupuna were, to me, the ultimate environmentalists. And this is way back several hundred years ago. And even when you had the wayfinding and understanding the stars and the oceans, the currents, and so forth. And, it shouldn't be any surprise that they continued with that understanding of nature to bring it forth to Hawaii. And one of the things that they did was in the fish ponds was how they really understood fish, the environment, and how to bring it together so that it could coexist as an entire ecosystem within itself. For example, when they built the fish ponds, one of the first areas that they always look for, or at least on Hawaii Island, they looked for freshwater aquifers where the fresh water would mix into brackish water with ocean water, because that was really important in the fish pond development. Because when the fresh water comes into an area along the ocean, you can see a lot of really good eating limu. And one of the best eating limu that is grown, that people here on Oahu love to get, but it's not grown here, is limu eleele. Because with the fresh water and the brackish water combined, the limu eleele grows all over the place. So when they have the fish ponds, they know that the fish, particularly mullet and aholehole, that's their food.
Could you explain maybe for anybody on the mainland what limu ele is?
Well, limu ele is a seaweed that is grown, and it's a real fine kind of hair type of texture, and very fine, and it's green, long green strands.
It dances in the water.
And it dances, and with the fresh water, it just adds to its growth on that. So the fish would love to eat, when you watch them, the mullet, they go and they start eating the limu ele, so forth. So what happens is that when they eat the fish, and the Hawaiians knew this, they would also, have to poop, in the fecal matter and so forth, in the fish ponds. And so what would happen is that another type of limu would be generated because of this, which wasn't good for the fish ponds. So the Hawaiians figured it out that in order to eliminate that invasive seaweed, but they also need to make sure that it was an ecosystem that revolved within itself, they brought in the honu, the turtle. So the turtle would eat that limu, around. And so you would see turtles all over the fish ponds, and the purpose was for the turtles to eat, because they didn't eat the limu elele. They ate the other seaweed. So then the turtles would poop in the fish ponds. And from that, it would help to provide kind of like a fertilizer for the limu eleele along with the fresh water.
The total cycle.
Okay, and so it created a whole food system, an eco-food system within itself. And then what they would do would be, to protect the ponds from poachers coming in and stealing the fish, they would also put in kaku, or the barracuda. Okay, and so this would kind of help to protect the fish, so that if anybody thought about taking fish from the high chief or from the konohiki, they would think about it twice about doing that. Then it was also pointed out to me by Professor Neil Fraser from the University of Hawaii Manoa, and he said the other reason for the kaku to be in there was because, sometimes in these areas, some of the fish would end up with some diseases and skin diseases. And so the kaku, in their nature, would feed on all the weak species of fish.
Wow.
Okay, and so it would take out those fish that were sick and only leave the healthy fish left. Okay, and so this whole ecosystem. So